This is very important presentation about anti-aging, about the use of some common antibiotics for anti-aging and its rejuvenation and extension of lifespan. So I will go in details more in this. This would be a longer presentation. I hope you watched the introduction, and as always I recommend you to download presentation from the link in the description as PDF file. Then you will get information, you will get sources of information. You can do all your own research. Don't trust me, do your own research, and again consult with your physician to do this or that, because I'm doctor in science, but I'm not medical professional. I do some research, but it is for my own benefits, and I cannot be responsible for giving this information. And if you will start any self-experimentation, it is up to you. All responsibility is up to you. So let's go. So you see, and also I should say that taking the antibiotics in larger doses, which are normally used in therapy, and especially if you use it chronically every day for longer time, it can damage a lot of it can produce a lot of damage. In particular, it leads to inflammation, and it leads to obesity and degradation of your health. So be careful. Again, I don't recommend it to use it. I just give you information to decide, but this is important information, as I said. So again, let's go into details. First, I want to present my vision of the aging, because it is very different from what other specialists in anti-aging talking, and I didn't see much of people, many people that support in this this point of view. I believe I am right. I am a professional scientist. I specialist in chemical physics and mathematics, so I can think logically at least, and so I go and I use it for myself. I see the results. I get the benefits. So it works for me at least. But again, I'm not responsible for what will be with your health and longevity. So let's go. The model of aging. It has some, not one aspect, but many aspects. But one is main, which I consider main aspect. It is related to stiffening of the extracellular matrix. The extracellular matrix is a framework of fibers that support the shape of our tissues, organs, and bodies. Extracellular matrix stiffens as we age. The mechanism underlying the stiffening of the extracellular matrix involves the destruction of elastic fibers, that is, elastin fibers, by sugar molecules, and their replacement by collagen fibers. Meanwhile, the collagen fibers gradually undergo cross-linking by sugar molecules in the process of glycation, which is the primary factor in human aging. Again, it is my opinion, and it may be not supported by other researchers, other scientists. So much like rubber that gets stiff and loses elasticity if there are too many cross-links by sulfur atoms, our tissues are slowly losing elasticity due to these cross-links in the process of glycation. This stiffening mainly affects blood vessels, and over time it causes hypertension, a reduction in blood flow through the blood capillaries, and shortage in the supply of oxygen to tissues, or the chronic hypoxia. This again my vision of the aging, and you can watch other my videos that you can estimate your biological age by stiffening of your arteria, and you can see that I did it. I'm 67 years old for the moment, and in the estimation of this arteria elasticity, my biological age at least my my cardiovascular system, this includes heart and all the blood vessels, is about 45 years or younger. So I'm quite good, and endurance and physical strength quite good. I'm well satisfied. But yet again, I have some problem with elasticity of the skin, and I have to pay more attention to outlook. And in previous video, you maybe find this the use of melatonin to improve, to rejuvenate your skin, and I have other videos on it. So I didn't use it. I started recently the use of melatonin, and I'm quite satisfied with results. So it's again in biology, all the process take time. You cannot expect rejuvenation overnight. It takes years, unfortunately. But if you consistent, if you do it every day, if you follow proper diet and proper lifestyle, yeah, everything will work. I trust. Okay, but I mean, you can see on yourself. So what is extracellular matrix? Extracellular matrix, it has these fibers of elastic fibers. It is elastin fibers. This is, you see, this small. They give elasticity to extracellular matrix, and they have collagen fibers. Collagen fibers are about 100 times or even 1,000 times more stiff than elastin fibers, but they give structure, they give shape of the tissues and all the organs. And then we have some other fibers which are important for signaling, for transfer information between the cells. And what we have inside, it is not that we're all composed of cells which are in close proximity to each other. It is actually some colony of cells which are separated, and then what we have is we have immune cells. Immune cells can migrate inside all this structure. Also, this is stem cells, which are mesenchymal cells, which are stem cells. They all can migrate and can do this maintenance of our body. And if everything works perfect, we can live forever young. Okay, this is my idea. So, but we have these fibroblasts, which are responsible for production of collagen fibers and also elastin fibers. And we have fat cells, etc., other cells, which are again also important for our body. So when cells do not receive enough oxygen, mitochondria produce more free radicals. This is a science. This is it's not invention. It seems strange that not enough oxygen and that it's production of more free radicals, which are reactive oxygen species, for example. So, but nevertheless, it is the mechanism how mitochondria produce energy. So mitochondria in our cells function as mini power plants that metabolize nutrients to release energy, water, and carbon dioxide, which is normal mechanism to energy production. But senescent cells and cancerous cells, which are two malignant type of cells in our bodies, can develop from normal cells as a result of free radical damage and this hypoxia. So what is happening? The chronic hypoxia is damaging, is producing more reactive oxygen species, and these reactive oxygen species, which are produced in mitochondria, they damage mitochondria, and if mitochondria are damaged, the cells try to get energy from somehow other source, and then this is so-called Warburg effect. Warburg effect states that malignant cells generate up to 95% of their energy by converting glucose in molecules of pyruvate and lactate without using oxygen. So you see how this chronic hypoxia change the metabolism, change how our cells start to produce energy because they try to survive. They try to survive in conditions that no oxygen or low oxygen. So, but then what is happening? These cells produce chemicals that ignite local tissue inflammation and blood vessel dilation to improve delivery of oxygen and nutrients. Okay, this reaction again, they change to other way to production of energy, not in the mitochondria but in cytoplasm of the cells, but also they try to give signals that and then your body will improve the delivery of oxygen and nutrients. So, and when there are more nutrients available, the malignant cells produce more proteins. Again, there are no, sometimes there is a possibility that they will change to healthy cells. So, but yet again, it is a complicated process, and malignant cells not always getting healthier. They just produce more proteins. Okay, so how it is going? Normal cell, what is now? It is, this picture is not very representative, but just to give it for you for some idea. What is happening? In case of this chronic hypoxia, they change to senescent cells. Actually, they increase in volume, 100 times in volume. and they are full of this. It is not shown here, but they are full of some vessels with lipids, because they cannot digest lipids. They use glucose as a source of energy, and they produce the signal molecule, so-called senescent secretive phenotype, and these signal molecules go outside, and what is happening again, it's producing inflammation, growth of new blood vessels, but also the other healthy cells can also start to go to the senescent state and produce more this secretive phenotype SRSASP, and to give a signal, to increase the signal, and to increase this process of blood vessel dilation, and also growth of the new blood vessels. So it is again, they try to recover the body, because they consider chronic hypoxia as a result of damage of some wound, for example. In particular, senescent cells need protein and glucose to produce pro-inflammatory signal molecules known in science as the senescent associated secretory phenotype, SASP, whereas these cancerous stem cells need proteins and glucose to grow and proliferate in numbers. So you can go to the source of information and read a little bit more, learn more. Senescent associated secretory phenotype has the potential to turn normal cells in a neighborhood into again senescent cells. This is how it works. It's a normal process of wound healing. This is how our body works. Senescent cells therefore increase in number. It is again normal, while tumors, so senescent cells grow in number, but tumors also grow in number, but they grow as a result of this multiplication and growth and proliferation. And this secretive associated secretory phenotype also stimulates fibroblastic, endothelium, and eventually immune cells migration to the inflamed tissue. What is happening? Fibroblasts are responsible for producing collagen. Malignant cells membranes may leak small molecules of pyruvate and lactate, so it is acidic. It makes acidic environment. So this then. What is happening? They produce for own energy production, and they are inside the cytoplasm getting a little bit acidic. But what is happening? These small molecules, they migrate outside. But if it is fibroblasts are in areas with more oxygen around, because there are areas of chronic hypoxia with senescent cells and or cancerous cells. But fibroblasts are around, they have conditions of more oxygen, and they use these molecules as source of energy. And these molecules can be used in citric acid cycle in mitochondria to generate more energy in fibroblasts and proteins in nearby fibroblast mitochondria. So fibroblasts are getting activated. Okay, so again, this slide shows what is happening in normal cells. You see, mostly it is produced, all energy produced in mitochondria in process of oxidative phosphorylation. And if there is a shortage of oxygen, then in conditions of hypoxia, they can go to anaerobic glycolysis. So if you go to anaerobic resistance exercises, then some cells can produce energy with this process of anaerobic glycolysis in the cytoplasm without oxygen. But if it is cancer cells, they produce energy mostly from glucose in cytoplasm. Only 5% or less energy produced by mitochondria, but it is so-called. But even in conditions that they have oxygen, they use this way of production because it is quick, very quick way to produce energy, and also they need carbon atoms to produce more proteins. Here all oxidized, and the results are this carbon dioxide and water, so it is not proliferating. But tumor cells, they need carbon to proliferate. So this is how they use this. This is so-called aerobic glycolysis or Warburg effect in cancer cells, but also senescent cells. They use similar mechanism to produce energy. So again, as I said, 95, pardon, here, by the way, not 85, but 95% go to lactate production and pyruvate and lactate, but only 5% is using by aerobic glycolysis. So it is again how this tumor cells work. Okay, this is the difference. And malignant cells, they mostly rely on this anaerobic. It is even aerobic, but they rely on glycolysis. Why? Because again, in senescent cells, mitochondria mostly damaged. The same in tumor. Mitochondria are damaged, mostly damaged. So fibroblasts, which are healthy and they activated, they produce more energy. Because of they get these sources of energy like lactate, and they use this lactate to produce more energy. They grow, they multiply in numbers. Yeah, so the same like cancer cells, and they start producing collagen. Excessive production of collagen around the malignant cells increases local stiffness of extracellular matrix due to excessive collagen deposition. Actually, fibroblasts build a protective shell around the malignant cells. Immune cells are supposed to destroy excess collagen and kill malignant cells, but if it is too many malignant cells, our immune system cannot cope with the task, and then the number of these malignant cells is growing. Also, migration of immune cells through the protective shell of collagen around the malignant cells, and in an acidic environment, also important that in acidic environment, it is the immune cells activity suppressed, so it is compromised. And again, all this is the mechanism how the malignant cells protect themselves from our immune system. So local inflammation ignites growth of new blood capillaries in the process known as angiogenesis. This is capillaries have to supply more nutrients and oxygen to the malignant cells in the inflamed tissue. So oxygen is used by fibroblasts, and nutrients are used by senescent cells and cancerous cells to proliferate and to grow in numbers. So this is all the process. So you see here in this picture what is presented. It is like tumor, and how tumor goes. We have cancer stem cells, which are the origin of the cancer. We have also our immune system try to eliminate them. We have natural killer cells, we have macrophages, but also what we have this and lymphocytes, which are white blood cells. They try to eliminate this cancer cells, but yet what is happening, and also this blood vessels are growing, so it is complicated process. But what is the result? We have this shell around the cancer, around malignant cells, and this shell of stiff shell that the macrophages and immune cells cannot penetrate inside, so tumor is growing. Also senescent cells are protected from immune system. They produce a lot of this senescent associated secretory phenotype, the signal molecules, and they grow in numbers, and that what we have, this chronic inflammation in our bodies. This, you see this mechanism, how to destroy this mechanism, how to stop growing tumor cells and senescent cells in numbers. Okay, we will go in this presentation. So it is interesting that certain antibiotics demonstrate an anti-inflammatory effects. Its mechanism not yet clear. Again, it is quite complicated chemistry, biological chemistry. So, but I don't expect you will go into details. But yet, okay, let's go. Such antibiotics slow down the increase in mitochondrial mass. So they block production of new mitochondria. So there are many damaged mitochondria, but the cell try to produce more mitochondria and increase energy production. But antibiotics block the production of new mitochondria. So therefore, they slow down production of energy by mitochondria in fibroblasts. Okay, so it is again the fibroblasts also use mitochondria, and they mostly use mitochondria. They produce energy by oxidation of nutrients, so they are okay. But these antibiotics, at least they slow down this production of energy in fibroblast. Then what they do? They do this by interacting with structures called mitochondrial ribosomes and blocking the production of proteins that are necessary to build new mitochondria. And shortage of mitochondria decelerates energy production and reduces activity of fibroblasts in the deposition of collagen around malignant cells. So you see how this antibiotics, they interrupt this growth of this protecting shell around the malignant cells. So immune cells can migrate through this not so stiff extracellular matrix and eliminate the senescent cells and eliminate cancerous cells. They can function. So a drop in number of malignant cells reduces local inflammation, and then it is again it can be recovered. So cancer cells can be killed, senescent cells can be killed, or excessive number of senescent cells can be killed, and then we are regenerating our body at least in part. Because the main part, it is the stiffening of the extracellular matrix due to a reaction with sugar molecules. It is another side. So doxycycline and minocycline, two antibiotics from the group of tetracyclines, have been studied for their potential to reduce inflammation and slow down the growth of tumors. So it is you can click on this reference, and you can go to the publication and you can see. So this is very common antibiotics. It's very cheap. They are relatively cheap. You can use it, but be careful with it. So what is interesting? Tetracycline, doxycycline, minocycline work, and there are also some other new sarecycline. I didn't use it, but they some producers of this drug, they claim that it works even better than doxycycline, minocycline. I cannot give any comments, but okay, nevertheless, so research is going. Probably another related to autophagy mechanism of malignant cells elimination exists, so you can click on it. So there is other explanation how these antibiotics work. So autophagy is an intracellular degradation process that occurs when damaged organelles, including mitochondria, oxidized fatty acids and proteins, are digested in lysosomes. A lysosome is a membrane-bound cell organelle with digestive enzymes inside, and they are active in acidic environment, which is important. Again, it has to be acidic. They don't work in neutral or in a neutral environment. So with pH 5, 6, 7 like this, they need acidity, not alkaline also environment. In conditions of chronic oxidative stress, the membranes of lysosomes may become leaky because of this reactive oxygen species and the free radicals. They can damage membrane, and membranes can leak. They can be leaky. Then what is happening? The cytoplasm inside malignant cells is slightly acidic because these cells produce pyruvate and lactate from glucose in cytoplasm. So environment is acidic. And then digestive enzymes, which are leaked from lysosomes, may damage the membranes of other organelles. So they work. So environment is acidic, so they degrade membranes of other organelles, including the nucleus. Eventually, the damage to the DNA and organelles lead to apoptosis. This is death of the malignant cells. Meanwhile, autophagy in healthy normal cells with normal cytoplasm is not acidic, is beneficial. Even first, it is the membranes of the lysosomes are not damaged. So, and making starting process of autophagy in healthy cells is beneficial, because if some mitochondria doesn't work, it will be removed and be replaced by new mitochondria, or even if it is not replaced, it is better, because again less reactive oxygen species are produced. Bacterial and mitochondrial ribosomes share several similarities due to evolutionary origin of mitochondria from bacteria. Therefore, certain classes of antibiotics inhibit the building of more mitochondria, so-called process of mitochondrial biogenesis in our cells. Mitochondrial and bacterial ribosomes consist of two subunits, large and small ones. It appeared that antibiotic doxycycline and minocycline, as well as azithromycin and roxythromycin, could suppress the production of new mitochondria, so they suppress this mitochondrial biogenesis, decelerating the synthesis of proteins in cells. So these proteins which are necessary to produce more mitochondria or increase mass of and size of one mitochondrion. So azithromycin and roxythromycin, which are from a group of macrolide antibiotics, have shown some potential for elimination of senescent cells and cancerous cells. Yeah, it is very interesting results. You can go to the link. Azithromycin in particular was found to be the most selective compound, as it eliminates senescent cells without affecting healthy normal cells. Yeah, so it's up to 95% in some tissues, and 95% of senescent cells can be eliminated with intake azithromycin, but in single dose, not chronic intake. So broad spectrum tetracycline antibiotics like doxycycline and minocycline work well against a variety of bacteria, including both gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. They are frequently used to treat a variety of bacterial infections such as urinary tract, skin, respiratory infections. They bind to subunit 30S and of the bacterial ribosome or 28S subunit of the mitochondrial ribosome and inhibit protein synthesis. By blocking the ribosome ability to synthesize proteins, tetracycline hinder bacterial growth and slow down the metabolism of hyperactive malignant cells. So malignant cells, again, especially senescent cells, they try to increase number of mitochondria to produce more energy, the same and process, but little bit more limited, but yet it is happening in the other cells in tumor around this. So what I was explaining about this production of the stiff protecting shell. So this is how it works. Again, that in some preclinical studies, doxycycline demonstrates promise as anti-inflammatory and potential anti-cancer agent. The potential for the anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer effects of minocycline has also been investigated. So what we have, we have the production of these proteins, these ribosomes, organelles are important. They have small subunit and large subunit. And what is happening, the bacteria, this erythromycin and also azithromycin, antibiotics, they work to different subunits. So in mitochondrial ribosomes, this azithromycin and roxythromycin, they block this large subunit, and tetracycline antibiotics like this minocycline and and this DXL, pardon. Okay, so they block a small subunit, and so they different, but it works. Okay. Doxycycline is almost completely absorbed by the upper part of the small intestine. It reaches its highest concentration in the blood after 1 to 2 hours and has high plasma protein binding rate, about 80-90%. Okay, so this is just a description of the doxycycline. And doxycycline penetrates almost all tissues and body fluids. Low concentration are found in saliva, aqueous humor, and in your mouth, and cerebrospinal fluid, even, and particularly inflamed meninges. It is in the brain. Okay, doxycycline is actively expelled into the gut, where some of it is inactivated by forming chelates, particularly via gallbladder, and particularly directly from blood vessels. In healthy individuals, the biological half-life of doxycycline ranges from 18 to 22 hours. It is slightly longer in those with end-stage kidney disease and significantly longer in those with liver disease. The side effects of large therapeutic doses of doxycycline, which are recommended 200 milligram per day for adults, can be reduced by intake of magnesium salts. Again, I don't recommend, I only talking about small doses. 200 milligram, I will show that it has a lot of side effects. It is necessary to use magnesium salts, of course, because it's all necessary to improve your health. And okay, then senolytics are substances. We go to extermination of the senescent cells. Senolytics are substances that selectively induce death of senescent cells. Minocycline has shown senolytic potential in preclinical studies. While low doses of 20 to 40 milligram per day appeared relatively safe, large therapeutic doses, about 200 milligram per day, of this tetracycline antibiotics, including doxycycline and minocycline, may cause chronic inflammation in the colon, small intestine injury, and the development of colon cancer. Again, if we are talking about small doses, 20 to 40 milligram per day. Intake of tetracycline and macrodial antibiotics causes inhibition of mTOR complex. Again, mind that it may interfere with growth of muscles, for example. But it ignites autophagy. It is contributing to autophagy. So if you don't have, if you follow intermittent fasting and at morning you have not enough of amino acids in your blood, then autophagy is ignited, and especially if you follow ketogenic diet, or then how it works. So you have to combine these antibiotics with proper diet, with proper lifestyle, and proper fasting. Intermittent fasting, for example, is absolutely necessary. As a senolytic, doxycycline effects on senescent cells are not well investigated as those of the other standard senolytics. So it is yet again, most research was done in vitro, in laboratory cell cultures, not in vivo. So, but promising results in the eradication of cancer cells were demonstrated in cell cultures with combination of vitamin C, berberine, and doxycycline. Also, you see that berberine suppresses a level of glucose, vitamin C works as pro-oxidant, and doxycycline works to suppress growth of mitochondria. So it's again in cancer cells. It helps to eradicate cancer cells and tumor growth. Azithromycin and roxithromycin are macrolide antibiotics that interfere also with protein synthesis. They bind to the 50 subunit of the bacterial ribosomes or the 39S subunit of the mitochondrial ribosomes. It is a large subunit. Therefore, the elongation of growing protein chain is prevented, so production of protein for growth of mitochondria is prevented. And it's again inhibiting the protein production in mitochondria and growth of mitochondria. Azithromycin is often used to treat respiratory tract infections, ear infections, and certain sexually transmitted diseases. Roxithromycin is used to treat respiratory tract infections, skin and soft tissue infections, and other bacterial infections. So it is just general information about this antibiotics. Very common antibiotics, very often used. Azithromycin and roxithromycin have been investigated for their potential anti-cancer effects, particularly in combination with other drugs. Again, even azithromycin is have a very good potential as senolytic. It is better if it is combined with other drugs, but what's the protocol and what drugs can be combined, it is yet a question to research. So these macrolide antibiotics have shown some activity against certain cancer cells, but the exact mechanism is not fully understood. So it's again a question of research. So again, you see this azithromycin and roxithromycin, they are from erythromycin group, and they bind to this large subunit of the ribosomes, and this tetracycline, which are doxythromycin and minocycline, doxycycline and minocycline, they bind to small units and block production of proteins which are necessary to produce more mitochondria. So it was demonstrated that azithromycin preferentially targets senescent cells, removing approximately 97% of them with great efficiency. Again, it is in laboratory studies mostly, and the animal models. It is the clinical studies are not done, so it has more research has to be done. It is interesting that erythromycin, which is closely related to antibiotics, was completely ineffective as a senolytic drug. It is mystery. People don't understand why. Almost the same structure of antibiotic, and it doesn't work. In vitro, it is again laboratory cell structures. The roxythromycin and azithromycin selectively eliminated large number of senescent cells at concentration of 100 micromole. But had no effect at low doses. Okay, dose-dependent efficiency. You have to protocol is not clear to find. In parallel, the authors of this publication, which is you can click on and check, they tested number of other senolytic drug candidates. Unfortunately, none of these other drug candidates showed any specific senolytic activity. So this azithromycin and roxythromycin, they are special. So then you can read, there are some speculations why it can be, why this antibiotics work, others don't work, but again, it's yet a mystery. Mechanism is not well understood. And there is clinical evidence that support potency of azithromycin in selective elimination of senescent cells via creation of anti-inflammatory effect. I use azithromycin, but again, be careful. It's a lot of side effects, and it is actually dangerous to use it or yourself. Self-experimentation is not recommended. Okay, but okay, you see, change of the structure is not much in comparison with erythromycin. Roxythromycin has this additional chains, and azithromycin is missing this oxygen, but again, why it is so much different, I don't know. But what is how many cells were eliminated by azithromycin and roxythromycin, erythromycin? You see, it's at different concentration was no effect, no elimination of senescent cells at low concentration. At high concentration, it starts to work. It is so dose-dependent effect of these antibiotics. What else? People think, okay, what we can do with a combination of doxycycline, azithromycin, vitamin C in mega doses was investigated in vitro, again, the laboratory cell cultures, as a potential therapy for targeting mitochondria in hyperactive cells and eradicating cancer cells also. Okay, cancer cells and senescent cells, they have similar mechanism, and they can be eradicated with about similar way. When used as a single agent, megadoses of vitamin C may block glycolysis in the cytoplasm. Again, I have to indicate that megadoses can be achieved by oral intake of vitamin C. So, and you need injections of this salts of ascorbic acid, ascorbates, and to the blood to get this result. And again, no clinical tests were done. So this, when in megadoses, it works as pro-oxidant and induce mitochondrial biogenesis, because it damages, it is damaging mitochondria, and then it is cells try to increase production of energy by creating new mitochondria. But again, you can, in principle, if it is only megadoses of vitamins, it cannot be used in anti-cancer drug. Cannot be, or it is working, but not so well. So meanwhile, the synthesis of protein that are encoded by mitochondrial DNA can be blocked by these antibiotics, this doxycycline and azithromycin, and then in combination of it, it gives some synergy. Indeed, azithromycin binds to the large mitochondrial ribosome subunits, while doxycycline binds to the small mitochondrial subunit, and then production of proteins for mitochondrial biogenesis effectively blocked. And then again, senescent cells, they have shortage of energy production because the vitamin C in megadoses blocking the production of energy by glycolysis in the cytoplasm. It is also increased damage to mitochondria, and then the production of new mitochondria is blocked. So this has the potential, but this slide shows how it can work. So again, doxycycline is blocking production of new mitochondria. So this biogenesis is blocked by this doxycycline or azithromycin. But meanwhile, vitamin C in megadoses blocking glycolysis. Blocking glycolysis and also lead to production more reactive oxygen species in mitochondria. So what we have shortage of energy, and cells, these malignant cells cannot produce enough energy to survive. And plus they have high concentration of reactive oxygen species, so they die. So senescent cells and cancer cells, they, as minimum, their proliferation is blocked, but maximum they are eliminated. So, since azithromycin and doxycycline are established inducers of autophagy, this combination should stimulate mitophagy to actively eliminate defective mitochondria. Okay, it's also one mechanism which is discussed. The authors discuss the possible azithromycin implications for new anti-aging senolytic drug and selectively killing senescent fibroblasts. Okay, you see, fibroblasts play an important role in protecting of these malignant cells, but also they get senescent themselves. They produce these pro-inflammatory molecules themselves. So that it is important to stop activity, to reduce activity of healthy fibroblasts, but also to kill senescent fibroblasts, and it can be done by these antibiotics. So you see this is how azithromycin works. So even mechanism is complicated, you can get the idea that why it is effective. So the accumulation of senescent cells is related to many diseases associated with aging, and this triple combination of azithromycin, doxycycline, and vitamin C, megadoses of ascorbates, may effectively target senescent cells, and both all these malignant cells, senescent and cancerous cells. You can read the publication, but again, it's just idea. There were no clinical trials. Doxycycline inhibits the growth and survival of cervical cancer cells. So it is again, even doxycycline alone works to inhibit the growth these cancer cells in numbers, proliferation of cancer cells. And doxycycline inhibits production of collagen and remodeling of extracellular matrix in smooth muscle cell couches. Again, so this important to that your immune system can eradicate these malignant cells. So you have to fibroblasts to suppress activity of the fibroblasts, and it can be done. So again, more research is necessary. Mechanisms are not well understood. It is very complicated topic, but I believe there are a lot of opportunities go in this direction in the development of this senescence and anti-cancer drugs in combination of this azithromycin, doxycycline, and maybe vitamin C or maybe other substances. It's okay. So again, what is known that it is known that in neurodegenerative diseases, what is happening, the mitochondria are damaged and they produce more reactive oxygen species, and then these reactive oxygen species, they can kill, they can destroy membrane of the nucleus, they can damage DNA, and eventually it can lead to apoptosis of these cells. And this is cells which are already dysfunctional, so they can eliminate dysfunctional cells because of also reduced production of energy. Many of researchers report the use of doxycycline alone or in combination with other drugs as anti-aging agent. Okay, so again, this is probably the only antibiotics which are relatively safe to take, doxycycline and minocycline. So and they inhibit inflammation and they are neuroprotective against ischemic stroke. Some studies were done with clinical studies, even in small number of participants, but they give shows some potential. Doxycycline may represent a drug that can be used to attenuate tumoric senescence, thymic senescence, rescue thymic function, and promote tissue reconstruction. Okay, the thymus degradation is very important. It is happening in but we can probably rejuvenate the thymus with this antibiotic. So regular intake of this antibiotics in small doses has a good potential. But again, it is question of if you do some self-experimentation, all the responsibility is on you. I'm not a medical professional. So the neuroprotective effect of doxycycline may be useful in preventing or slowing down the progression of Parkinson's disease and other neurodegenerative diseases. Okay, again, there was some clinical trials, limited in size, but good results, good. Low doses, again, I showed low doses, 50 milligram daily, it is 2 doses. Doxycycline monohydrate can be a promising therapeutic strategy targeting the inflammatory component of diabetic retinopathy. Okay, if you have some complications in and age-related degeneration of your body, again, consult your physician. I'm personally healthy and I take my risk and I use this doxycycline, but again, small doses, even not 25 milligram, take 20, not 50 milligram, I take 25 milligram on daily basis. However, at therapeutic doses of 100 to 300 milligram per day, doxycycline causes chronic inflammation in the colon and small intestine and even tumor genesis. Okay, you see how it is dose dependent. So you have to be so careful in this antibiotic, and you have to combine it with change of your lifestyle, etc., etc. It's not very easy, not very easy topic. It is not some magic pill which can decelerate your aging, but yet it has some potential. Doxycycline treatment can have an effect on vascular inflammation. It can inhibit the activity of matrix metalloproteinase, MMP, which is important. These are enzymes involved in the degradation of extracellular components, and they are linked to inflammatory process in vascular system. So these enzymes, they destroy elastin fibers. Okay, so if you take this doxycycline and low doses, they may the drop in elasticity of your extracellular matrix, especially in your vascular cardiovascular system, can be slow, at least slower. Doxycycline decreases this activity in cellular model in laboratory cell cultures and suppresses mycobacterial growth in vitro and in guinea pigs. Okay. Again, it is not related to human clinical studies, but yeah, shows some potential that doxycycline and minocycline inhibit this activity of these enzymes, MMP enzymes, and their use for suppression of aortic aneurysm. Okay, because aortic aneurysm, some people die from this because they have no elasticity in the aorta. And at high blood pressure, aortic aneurysm, so it is widening the swelling of the aorta, and even aneurysm, it is just broken, and you have blood go inside your body, so some people die. It can happen But if you slow down degradation of elastin fibers with this doxycycline and minocycline, it can help. But again, it was demonstrated in animal models. I cannot say that it can work for humans. Clinical studies are necessary. Additionally, doxycycline has been used to inhibit the expression of enzymes and molecules that can contribute to inflammatory response within the blood vessels of mouse models. Doxycycline reduces cardiac stress. So a lot of research, but what I would say, clinical studies are very expensive. Okay, and this tetracycline antibiotics are not already so old. They are not protected by patent. So there is no way to get money for the clinical studies of this clinical trials with these antibiotics. So this is a problem. There should be some clinical studies, but nobody is investing any money in it. Okay, so this is a problem. What is happening, you see? So it's, again, extracellular matrix, because of this excessive collagen production, the thickness of the aorta can increase, but doxycycline is suppressing this growth of this excessive deposition of the collagen, yeah? So this, and then it is again, it is suppressing hypertension, at least theoretically, at least suppressing whole. I mean, many people report good results in it, but again, it's maybe will not work for you. Doxycycline in antimicrobial doses, so in such doses that will not affect bacteria in your gut. So it is 20 milligram twice a daily. So has been found to decrease the level of inflammatory markers such as some protein, C-reactive protein, and various cytokines. So you can read publication, and then again, it can be prescribed for anti-inflammatory properties rather than antibacterial effects. So it's again small doses sometimes are prescribed, but again, this regimen commonly used in treatment of conditions like rosacea, periodontitis, it is in your teeth, and acne, aims to reduce inflammation and inhibit this matrix metalloprotein enzymes without significantly disrupting the body normal microbial flora in your gut. So it's again, even it has some positive impact. It is eliminating some. It is not killing bacteria which are beneficial, but kills mostly some bacteria which are detrimental to your body, which are producing toxins. So it's again, people use it, but again, you have to be very careful and combine it with your diet and with lifestyle, so it's not easy. So it is again, these trials were 2 years long, daily intake of these small doses, and it was good results, and the low concentration is not sufficient to kill a broad range of bacteria, thus preventing the balance of the commensal microbial communities in the gut, skin, and other areas. So it's again, many people use it, and you can rely probably on this experience, on these trials, which are doxycycline and minocycline. People use it in small doses. Yeah. So meanwhile, again, the drug may accumulate to higher local concentration in the skin and oral cavity. This how it works. So it may be beneficial because it is not killing your beneficial bacteria in your gut, but it may give some benefits for the skin and oral cavity. It appears that doxycycline demonstrates an anti-inflammatory effect, reduces the production of senescent-associated secretory phenotype by senescent cells, and slows down the degradation of elastin fibers, even at smaller doses, 25 milligram a day. This is what I use. Doxycycline exhibits anti-tumor and pro-apoptotic activity for cancer cells. Okay, so it's beneficial, mostly beneficial. Small doses are beneficial, maybe for most people, but not. You have to decide for yourself. This antibiotic has been tested in clinical trials as chemotherapeutic agent for several cancers, including colon cancer. However, doxycycline didn't reduce the progression of calcification of the aorta valve in mice. Again, the mechanism how the doxycycline works cannot stop calcification of the your blood vessels and aortic valve and your heart. So it's just different mechanism. Low doses, this 50 milligram daily for 24 months, oral doxycycline monohydrate can be a promising therapeutic strategy targeting the inflammatory component of diabetic retinopathy. I think I was giving some reference, but to other publications, but with the same results. So doxycycline inhibits the production of collagen and the remodeling of extracellular matrix in smooth muscle cell cultures. This is again important because stiffening of your muscles, it is instead of improving elasticity of your muscles, it's reducing strength of your muscular system. So it's again, as it is suppressing production and of excessive collagen, then it is good even for muscle growth and for your strength. Treatment of worms with either doxycycline, azithromycin, or combination of both significantly extending the medial lifespan of worms. Okay, you can read, but again, it's animal models. It's worms. What works for worms is different. So what do you have? It is again what you can do. You have to eliminate or suppress activity of the senescent cells. Senescent cells, they produce the senescent pro-inflammatory molecules. So you can suppress production of these molecules. These drugs are called xenomorphic or xenostatics. Or you can eliminate senescent cells. These drugs are called senolytics, but mechanism and what is the composition. Again, some drugs work in one tissues and other tissues doesn't work, so it is not easy. But meanwhile, the senescent cells produce a lot of harm because they produce this pro-inflammatory molecules, senescent associated secretory phenotype, and they have this suppression of the immune system. So it is certainly very important for anti-aging to eliminate the excessive number of senescent cells. Accelerated biological aging and telomere shortening have been associated with chronic hypoxia and increased oxidative stress. In vitro experiments, both quizartin and minoxidil appeared to reduce the rate of telomere shortening and decelerate aging in condition of chronic oxidative stress. This is again laboratory structure, laboratory cell cultures. Minoxidil can prevent the buildup of misfolded and aggregated proteins during aging. Again, very important stuff which is happening especially in our brain. And protein aggregation is related to several progressive age-related brain diseases, including Alzheimer, Parkinson, and prion diseases. So again, treatment with minoxidil prevents cognitive dysfunction observed in mice. Again, it mice, but what is interesting? Let's go. And chronic treatment with minoxidil reduces functional impairment caused by cerebral focal ischemia. Again, in mice, in animal models, and minoxidil reduces protein aggregation and significantly increases lifespan in worms and fruit flies. Not even in mice, but it has some potential. Again, it is reducing protein aggregation because, again, the mechanism understood. It is reducing inflammation, reducing production of reactive oxygen species, and also it leads to protein aggregation and protein malfunction, protein misfolding. Okay, what is happening again? If from our birth to our older age, what is happening? All the process of aging, we have this increased production of reactive oxygen species. Why it is happening? I was explaining. It is reduced delivery of oxygen to by blood to tissues. Okay, and if it is reactive oxygen species, they result in inflammation. And if we use this antibiotics, it has anti-inflammatory properties. So, and again, it is helping to decelerate aging. Okay, it is helping. Otherwise, it can go to obesity. But again, if you take too much of this antibiotics, it also will give obesity, and can give some very adverse, very harmful adverse effects. So it has to be very carefully used and combined with lifestyle and diet and other supplements. So there are many anecdotal reports that in low doses minoxidil slows down aging and development of age-related degenerative diseases. However, a clinical trial with high doses of either 200 or 400 milligrams of minoxidil hydrochloride has found that it does not delay the progression of cognitive impairment in people with Alzheimer's disease compared to placebo. And also, high doses, 200 milligram a day of this minoxidil didn't improve the loss of sharp vision related to aging and damage of maculatus in your eye. Then, okay, so you see, dose dependent, high doses, 200 milligram a day, it is too much. So minoxidil in small and moderate doses can have beneficial effects on health and lifespan in certain animal models. How it will work for you, I don't know. I believe it worked for me. I take it, but there is no miracle. But I just use it. High doses may not provide additional benefits and could potentially cause harm. Certainly, these are very potent substances. You have to be used very cautiously. So also high doses can come with increased risk of side effects. Certainly. Macrolide antibiotic azithromycin and roxithromycin may influence cellular senescence due to their inflammatory and immunomodulatory properties. Yeah. So mechanism includes reduction of these levels of senescent associated secretive phenotype for inflammatory molecules and modulation of autophagy in the malignant cells and also in the other cells which are involved in the stiffening of extracellular matrix. Influencing this cellular process could enhance removal of senescent cells. Combining azithromycin and roxithromycin with fisetin, which are natural flavonoid with senolytic properties, might provide synergistic effects through the anti-inflammatory and anti-autophagy modulating pathways. Again, be careful. Chronic intake of azithromycin is not recommended, but combination of, again, it's this also my idea. I don't know how it works, but I got the, if you watched my previous video about melatonin works almost the same as mega doses of vitamin C. That is blocking production of the use of glucose to produce energy by malignant cells. So it's again, maybe it can be combined with azithromycin or roxithromycin, and maybe it will be combined with this tetracycline antibiotics. So it can have potential, but more research should be done. Again, problems that nobody want to pay for this research. Melatonin is substance which are not patented. Azithromycin and roxithromycin or this doxycycline, minocycline, it is very old substances, not patented. You cannot get money for clinical studies, and without clinical trials, you cannot give it recommendation to other people to use it. So it is all to yourself, to you decide, can you try or not. If you try, again, be in contact with your physician and check your body situation, listen to your body. Okay, if you see improvement, I was given some methods to estimate your biological age with your blood pressure measurements. It is relatively easy. You can do it, but very careful. Again, my opinion that first you have to do some first steps. First steps are changing to the ketogenic diet and especially carnivore diet, but not just carnivore diet like many people recommend, but I use modified carnivore diet. I use it. I believe it is more beneficial. And then you can use it in combination with topical treatment, with oral supplements. It is all complicated, not easy. It takes time, and you will not see quick results in anti-aging drugs. So be careful, be careful. So more research is needed. Who will pay money? I don't know. I do this research on my own, and it helps me to feel much better, to feel stronger. And in my 67 years, I am physically very active, and mind works absolutely perfect. I believe it, but again, many other things are included. So it is not just taking minoxidil, or doxycycline in some small doses. It is not only this, but some people report 5-10 years of this taking small doses of minoxidil, and they think, yeah, the appearance, at least the appearance, is younger than their chronological age. Yes, okay, but again, it's up to you. And mind that my goal is extension of lifespan to infinity. So it is to live forever young, or maybe 1,000 years. It is different, and because it is different, it is not only health improvement. It is not to be healthy till your death. No, it is much larger goal, much more important and much more complicated goal. It is actually to and I believe it can work if you will do everything properly. If you will recover your immune system, if you will slow down this stiffening of your extracellular matrix, even rejuvenate elasticity of your extracellular matrix, it can work. It can work. It's again my personal opinion. Not many people believe me. Okay, they say, okay, live to 130 years, we will see. If you will live longer than 130 years, we will follow you. Yeah, problem that they those people will not see my success. Okay, at a single low doses. Okay, single low dose. Azithromycin has shown to effectively kill and eliminate senescent cells with efficiency 97% in some tissues. Again, this research has to be continued. It in some cells it works, but in other cells, other senolytics has to be used. Again, like roxythromycin has ability to selectively kill senescent cells by inducing apoptosis and inhibiting expression of senescent-associated secretative phenotype. Then again, it has some potential both as senolytic and synergomorphic drug, but roxythromycin mostly used for topical application, for example. Again, maybe for your skin, roxythromycin will work better. Azithromycin. But again, azithromycin is very potent. If you take it chronically, it can make a lot of harm. So, but single doses, I tried. It works. I tried, but again, it has some danger. It's again, even intake of azithromycin in single doses may harm heart, liver, and kidneys, because all these cells in heart, liver, and kidneys, they are very active metabolically. And then if you use azithromycin, which is suppressing production of energy in these hyperactive cells, which are mostly harmful, which are mostly like senescent cells and the cancer cells, but your liver, heart, and kidney, they're also hyperactive cells, so you can damage them. So you be very careful. Again, yeah, I was doing in year 2023, I uploaded a video and presentation and short introduction to the use of antibiotics, antibiotics and anti-aging remedies. It's again, I make some upgrade, more resources, information in this presentation. You can do your own research. This is what I also do. And we may conclude what I can say, it is relatively safe, that small doses of doxycycline or minoxidil can be used to reduce chronic inflammation and slow down aging. Chronic it is, I take 25 milligram a day. Some people use doses 20 milligram twice a day. Again, up to you. And there will be no miracle, but it is just, again, it is slow down agent, not reversing agent, it is slowing down. Okay, so and I don't see any side effects to any problem with my digestion or my microbiome. It's again it is even beneficial. It's been beneficial because it kills pathogenic bacteria in your gut, but is not much effective to suppress lactobacteria and other beneficial bacteria which are necessary for your health. But again, in my case, it is related to my diet, what I eat, what I consume, and the use of probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. Again, this is much more complicated. I don't use just a general carnivore diet. General carnivore diet will improve your health, but will not extend your lifespan. I believe so. Okay. So again, it is what I am doing. It is much different from people are doing and proposing. Now I am not against. I say yes, especially some restricted carnivore diet like lion diet, eating beef and salt. It is very beneficial, but to some extent. For younger people, it will work. For older people, it may have some complications. Okay, but I'm in my age. I have to use modified diet, so I have to change. Okay, I give it details in other videos, so please watch them. Again, if you want to support this project, because it is no I don't have any support, and it is very important for billions of people. But what is interesting, not many people want to live long. Not I'm not talking about to live forever young. Not many people want to live just longer than like 70, 80 years. They say it's enough, so much suffering. We don't want it. It has to stop somewhere. It's so much problems, so many problems, pardon, so much suffering. We cannot stay. Better we will pass away. I'm doctor in science, but also Christian, devoted Christian. I have my own opinion about this. Extension of your lifespan to 1,000 years does not contradict to Christianity. No problem, absolutely no problem. And keeping your body healthy, can be considered as your worshiping of God, because you keep your body healthy for long. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. Yeah, if you go to Christianity, you will see that your body should be perfect. You don't. You have to keep your body beautiful. Okay, this is what I try. It takes time. It takes a lot of efforts and a lot of also some restriction, but also it is good to see that to see the result. That it is like you're serving your God, you're serving your Lord, and giving good temple, building your cathedral from your body, and this is the way to express your love to our Lord. This is the sense of Christianity. This is personal relation with your Lord, with Christ, and with Father, which again, it's quite complicated question, but I know as a doctor in science, I know this, how it works. But again, if I try to express my love, I try to invite the Holy Spirit is in my body. In my body is a cathedral, is a home for Holy Spirit. I have to build perfect body. It is my way to express my love to God, even if it is related to suffering, to restrictions, and this is what I have to do. This is what love. Love is not acting in for your own benefits, but for benefits of a person you love. If you love your wife, you do what is possible to benefit your wife and to please her. And again, if you invest money in your house, you invest money in your furniture and food, and to keep your wife happy because you love her. And the same with Lord, even more. It is not just loving your neighbor, it is loving your God. It is number one in the 10 rules which you have to follow. You have to express your love. You're just not singing. Oh my, yeah. Okay, so you go to church, you sing. It is good. It is good. Because it is again. It was also important. The Christ said you have to love each other. Christians have to love each other. So it is like second that you have to love your neighbor. Your neighbor is another Christian, but more important to love God and to please God, to follow what it is recommended to you by Christ, but also to provide to do some job to build your a beautiful cathedral from your body. This is my understanding. So you can go to this publications. It's not easy subject. I tell you, it is not easy subject. I was involved in this. I was reading and trying to understand this mechanism. I have some ideas, like maybe combination of melatonin instead of mega doses of vitamin C may work. It's again question of money, question of investment. Nobody want to pay. Okay, but this is what I do. This is my religious duty. I invest my money, I invest my time to build a cathedral, which are long-standing cathedral. So in Europe, people were making these churches, cathedrals, for many generations, investing money, investing labor to make it beautiful. Okay, this is what I try to do. I invest my money, invest my time, and invest all the efforts to build the cathedral for Holy Spirit. Because again, in church, Holy Spirit is in the church, but also in the church, not only building, but also in community. So you have to participate in the life of the community and supporting the community. It's all not easy, but again, it is. You can consider this as also the religious duty. But whatever. My opinion may or may not agree with official recommendations. Mostly not, because recommendation to live forever young, well, it is not appreciated, I tell you. And I use a lot this artificial intelligence. And if you ask some direct questions like how I can improve your health, the answer would be consult your physician. So if you use artificial intelligence, you have to be very careful. You have to be very specific in what you're asking. Like if you're asking some details, how the melatonin can get to inside the cell. Okay, then you can get the answer from artificial intelligence, which is correct mostly, and even with references to publications, it helps. It saves a lot of time. But if you ask general questions, don't expect to get the correct answer. Don't expect to get much help. And what is happening? The development of this super intelligence is coming, and I don't know. It's again what I see as the use of artificial intelligence in war is increasing, and it can be a sign of this apocalypse. So of this collapse of our societies, because if artificial intelligence will go to the use of this to kill other people, the results can be like the movie Terminator will be nice version of your future. So it can be absolute disaster. But again, it was all predicted. You can read Bible, you can see that those who are good Christians and they do what is necessary, and in particular I try to do what is necessary in my vision, and to serve, to be a good Christian, and then health is related to my religious duties. I believe that I can survive. I can survive in this in the future, which is absolutely strange. What is happening, I see it as degradation of our humanity. And opposite to this dark future, I propose idea that we can go to galactic future, we can populate other planets, we can go to outer space. This is, I believe, the next generation, next civilization. We can be interstellar, Yes, we can populate galaxies. We can go everywhere. This would be a very positive future. But how to build it? And extension of lifespan is part of this future, because you cannot travel to other stars. It is 100 years of 100 light years to travel, and so on. So you have to live at least 1,000 years, and you have to build this ship, which will be with some environment, and so it's again not very easy. Not very easy, but we have. I try to work on it, and this is my contribution for the better future of the humanity. If it is not supported, not my fault, okay? But if you want to support it, at least what you can do, the minimum, you press the like and bell button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends, and share my channel with your friends. Maybe at least this support will help me to spread the word about this very important topic. And again, not many people want to live for long, but if they are not Christians, by the way, they are supposed to get in hell. What is hell? I can make a video on this. What is hell? What is paradise? How people choose to get to paradise or to get to hell. It is not that our God is punishing people. People have free choice. They can go paradise or they can go to hell. It's our choice. Okay, it's the same. Our choice to live forever young or to live much longer and to be healthy, or to destroy your body, to go to this smoking and drinking alcohol and eating some abusing some drugs like cocaine and also other drugs. Okay, it's up to you. But again, what I'm doing, it is for better future of humanity. If you want to help me, if you want to support project, do something. Okay, have a wonderful day. Ciao ciao.